What's up, guys? It's DJ. Welcome to Gamma Bro Hulk Reviews. Now for your Gamma dose of the Jade Giant. Today's featured Hulk item is from a company called Marvel Superhero Mashers. This version of Hulk is the Deluxe edition, and the review is coming up next. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Marvel Superhero Mashers is made by Hasbro. This line first started in 2014. So Hasbro wanted a less articulated, more simplistic line for kids to roughhouse and play with, and not as expensive of a line as something like Marvel Legends. This line ran for many years. There are like 13 different waves, vehicles. What's interesting about this line is when you buy all the different characters, you can take them apart and mix and mash them. So Superhero Mashers means that you can take it apart, you can put Abomination and Hulk together and make this amalgamation of characters, create basically your own heroes and give them their own powers and abilities and weapons. And when you put them together, you can beat the snot out of these figures, and they're super durable, a little bit of rubber mixed in there, and they don't get damaged, like not nearly as easily as something like a Marvel Legends. My son, he was a little guinea pig for me, and I let him play with a lot of these different figures, and he loved them. He loved taking them apart and putting them back together. So it definitely worked. I saw greater interest in those type of figures compared to something like a Marvel Legends for my son. And in regards to Hulk, they have tons of different versions. I mean, there's 3 or 4 regular versions of Hulk, and then you have the deluxe version, which I'm going to show you today. And then you have these 2.5, 3 inch versions. And you can mix and match all these different parts of just Hulks, let alone the 35, 40 other characters that they came out with. So it's a really cool line, really fun. I'll start off with the Deluxe Edition Hulk to show you in regards to my Superhero Mashers Hulk line. So here he is right now. So this Hulk is the Deluxe Edition, so he's much bigger and thicker and definitely wider than the regular versions. So his legs seem to be the same size as the regular edition Hulks, but when you go into the torso and the big bulky arms and fists, this is where he looks a lot bigger compared to the other figures. And what's cool is they come out with unique head sculpts, and this specific Hulk Deluxe head sculpt is really, really cool. I like it a lot. So we are going to jump right into the sculpt. We'll start at the face. I love the look of this. So Superhero Mashers are more of a cartoony line, a little bit more animated. I love the expressions on his face. This is a more raged out Hulk. Some of them are smiling, some of them are not smiling at all, and just a stagnant facial expression. But this one, he has a lot of emotion, a lot of rage built in there. This comes in a 3-pack. He comes with 2 other figures that are 2.5 inches, which is Black Widow and Ultron. As for the chest, big burly chest, as I said before, not as detailed or texturized as something like a Marvel Legends. This is a much more animated, cartoonish version of Hulk, which is nice to mix compared to something like Legends. So he definitely stands out in that regard. Huge lats, big wide burly back, huge arms and shoulders. They come with these pieces here, so you can put weapons and different gear and armor on that come in different sets. So that's the mix and match part of it. Now much smaller legs compared to the torso and upper body, which gives this unique look. Tons of different options in regards to putting weapons and gear and armor, which is really, really fun. Even on the back. Here's the big, huge back. So the sculpt of this is fun. I like it a lot. I think he definitely is a good mix and alternative look to Hulk, which I dig. Just a really cool sculpt overall. So I will give him probably around a B, maybe a B+. I do like the size of this figure, but I'd probably give him like a B+ if I was comparing him to a Marvel Legends. I'll give it an A for more of a kid-oriented figure and for Sculpt, but a B to B plus if you're comparing it to something like a Marvel Legends. For paint, very, very simplistic paint. These are made to just beat the snot out of. So all the green that you see is green PVC plastic. This is the color green that they chose. I think it's a nice green. I like the soft textures and the soft color palette that they chose. Very nice. This is even the color plastic that they chose for the pants, the PVC plastic. So all this is not paint at all. So when you beat on this, no paint will be taken off because there isn't any. The only paint that they have on here is on the eyes, eyebrows, teeth, and hair. And I think all that is done really well. And you can tell it's a type of paint that is made just to be super, super durable, super shiny, and just made to take a beating and to mix and match all the different character faces and heads. So not much paint here. So for the look of it, in regards to coloring, I'll give it a B+. In regards to paint itself, there's not much, so that will get a C- because the only paint is up here. So you can take that for what it's worth. Looks great, not much texturing, not much to it in regards to paint, but the bonus side is you can play with this as much as you want and have really no worries because you can't chip anything. And this is like a very interesting texture, which will lead into quality. So quality of these figures are very, very, very good. Highly, highly durable. It's almost like a super hard plastic, and then all these arms are like a rubberized texture. So you can bang these off, especially the fists off figures. You'll have no problems with worrying about damaging things. In regards to quality, a lot of heft. The joints are solid. It stands with ease. No weight issues. Great PVC plastic. A very interesting idea with being able to take these things apart and mix and match them with other superheroes. Very, very cool. And even the face is great in regards to quality. So for quality, I'm going to give this an A. And now I will show you what he looks like taken apart. So here he is completely taken apart, which is really, really cool. It comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces all together for this particular figure. What's interesting is when I picked this up, this part is super light and super, super hard plastic, like incredibly light. And all the weight is actually in all these pieces. These are all solid PVC, chunky, rubberized plastic, very, very, very heavy. And then the thighs are pretty solid and heavy overall. And just the quality is really good. And the balance is interesting with when putting these together, how they're able to stand and work out the way they do. So it's very interesting. Now I will jump into articulation. So now on to articulation. Again, very thick, big, wide figure. Start with the head. You have about that much range going up, a lot of range going down, and you can take the head off, position it. You can move this, and this ball joint will move around, so you can have the head lower or higher. Pops in real easy. You get tons of range. He sits a little bit lower than the traps here. Full 360, really, really tough ratchet joints. You can hear the clickiness. Goes full 360. You cannot, there's no joints here to extend the arms, so they only go 360 in this direction. So the articulations is very simple. Single joints, surprisingly, a lot of range, almost 90 degrees for that single joint. So for these areas, we want to make sure the fist is put in straight because of these side pieces, and then turn it. Again, almost 90 degrees. No waist swivel at all. Tons of different rotation, outward, forward, and back. Tons of rotation there. No thigh swivel or anything. In regards to the legs, let's move these arms up. Easily just take it off for you. So again, there's the inside of the joints. You can rotate this with ease. Very ratchety sounding with the joint here. Pull it back. You get about that much range. which is about almost 90 degrees, but not quite as much. Still a ton of range overall. And then since these pieces come off easily, there's no articulation in the feet at all, but very wide and stable to be able to keep him in a position to stay standing. I want to take note that in regards to quality as well, just I'd imagine the more you pull these apart, the more you play with them, the constant switching, I'd imagine some of these ratchet joints will get loose over time, especially in the legs. I don't have that problem now, but I imagine, over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, these might get loose. None of mine are, so I'm not sure if that will happen, but just keep that in mind, just in case it does. So now we are going to wow factor. This definitely has wow factor. It is a big figure that stands out. In one of my cubes, I keep him in the middle as a centerpiece because I do think he stands out and he matches really well with smaller figures and stuff. Definitely stands out a lot in the collection. And I will give for this particular figure an A-. I think it's very, very good overall. So with the SuperHero Mashers, they haven't been around for a while. I think it stopped around 2019 probably. So they ran about 5 years. Again, like 12, 13 waves of figures, 50 plus figures and vehicles and minifigures. Huge line, really popular. Because Hasbro will cut its costs and cut its lines instantly if it doesn't sell. So it did pretty good overall to hang in there as long as it did. And to give it just another option, a less expensive option compared to Marvel Legends. In regards to price, back then the price for what you get was really good. Most figures were around $10, maybe $12. The deluxe sets, like the 3-packs, like this Hulk, were probably $15, $20 for what you get. I thought it was pretty good cost savings for the figure. Now, like anything else, getting them in the package is kind of scarce and rare. So when you do that, you're looking at $25, $30 for the regular figures. These bigger packs, $50, $60 in the box. Don't pay those ridiculous prices. These figures are not worth that much money, no matter what. But sellers will be sellers, and they are going to try to keep those prices up. But you can find a lot of bulk lots of all the different characters and parts lots, and you can create your own characters if you're doing it for kids. If you're getting it for yourself and you want to collect all the Hulks, finding all the parts and weapons unopened is the hard part, because a lot of these figures come with 5, 6, 7, 8 different extra parts, extra heads and weapons. More than likely, you're not going to get that whole thing together if it's all opened. You're probably going to have a couple pieces missing. And people still charge a pretty penny, $25, $30 for opened Hulks with all the parts. If you don't care about the parts and you just want some of the Hulks that are complete, you can sometimes find them for $15, $20 plus shipping. And then the minifigures, the 2.5-inch ones, depending on the rarity, they're about $10 to $12 themselves. But all the box pieces are pretty expensive. Look out for auctions starting at a penny, and maybe you can get a steal and get it for super cheap. I'd recommend trying that avenue as well. Many different Hulks in the line, 4 or 5 different big ones, a couple small versions, couple in vehicles. There's a lot out there for you, but this one's very unique because it's the bigger version. It's the only version of this particular Hulk sculpt in the line. Probably my favorite Hulk of that line. So overall, I'll give this figure probably like a B+ to an A-, depending on where you want to place the sculpt and paint compared to other Hulk figures, because it's just different. It's a different type of figure, but it's a really nice figure for what it is. Really good quality. And really creative. I like mixing and matching all the parts. And you can get really cool, build-a-figures like A-Bomb, the Blue Abomination, Rick Jones, Hulk's best friend. You can get him as a build-a-figure, and it's really cool. And he looks pretty badass. I'll do a review of him later, but he's a build-a-figure version. All right, but that's basically it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this deluxe version of SuperHero Mashers Incredible Hulk. Please Hulk smash the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and thanks for watching my videos, guys. So take care, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. All right. Peace.
Peace.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.